Hello, and welcome to this edition of What the Hell Just Happened? The vlog that knows that daylight is the best disinfectant, but asks, why can't we just wash our hands of corruption once and for all? I'm your host, Martin Ganapolar. We'll take a look at the events of the week, but first we need to go back 1 year to February 14th, 2018. This was the date that a gunman opened fire in the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas School in Parkland, Florida, killing 17 and wounding 17 more. This horrific event prompted a House Judiciary Committee hearing on gun violence. As you already know, the hearing didn't result in any substantive change, but it did give a Republican Florida representative named Matt Gaetz an opportunity to stand his ground in front of grieving family members and fellow lawmakers. Congressman Gaetz addressed the audience to say that, quote, "The greatest driver of violence was not the firearm. It was the fact that we have an immigration system that allows people to come here violently," end quote. This so offended one grieving father that he stood and interrupted the congressman, shouting, "That's a lie! That's not true!" So what the hell happened next? Congressman Gaetz ordered the forcible removal of the aggrieved father. How's that for compassion? Then he went on to conclude that, quote, "If we really cared about safer streets, we would build the wall and secure the border," end quote. Here's a few interesting tidbits about Congressman Gaetz. He's an avowed Holocaust denier and white supremacist. He's appeared on InfoWars, the ultra-right-wing TV show run by the fanatical neo-fascist Alex Jones. Now, Gaetz loves the president, and our glorious leader loves him right back. He even retweets Gaetz's inflammatory postings. We are known, I think, by the company we keep. Here's what the hell just happened yesterday. A state of emergency was declared by the president. Yeah, in a rambling stream of consciousness speech, he once again bloviated about what a threat Mexicans are with their drugs, their human trafficking, their murderous ways, and the gangs they're sending to take over our cities. To quote the Kinks, "Paranoia will destroy ya." This declaration now allows the president to appropriate funds from many different government sources to build the fence, wall, the border deterrent, whatever. In his remarks, he even admitted that the issue was about the election of 2020, that it was in fact a political emergency. It was a surreal pronouncement. Fortunately for us all, we live in a country where there are three co-equal branches of government, and no president can rule simply by decree. We'll just see where this state of emergency thing ends up, hopefully on the scrap heap of history. Next, we go to the ancient and freezing city of Warsaw, Poland, which just this week hosted the U.S.-sponsored meeting on peace and security in the Middle East. Poland, Middle East. Okay, that's logical, I guess. The topics discussed included the Iranian threat to world peace, Yemen and Syria and why the U.S. needs to let surrogates run the show there, how Iran was fomenting war and instability, Israel-Palestine relations, and why European leaders all needed to pull out of the Iran nuclear accords. You know what wasn't discussed? Our new besties, the Saudi Arabians. Yeah, go figure. In addition to Vice President Pence and Secretary of State Pompeo, National Security Advisor John Bolton and Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani were both there as well, representing the Tweedledum and Tweedledummer wing of our government. Actually, Rudy was not there in official capacity, but rather as a paid shill for a group called the National Council of Resistance of Iran, a controversial Paris-based political organization also known as the Mujahideen-e-Khalq. Sounds like a great group. We are known by the company we keep. Since we started in Florida, let's get out of the cold and go back to Florida for a hot minute. It's there that 12-year-old Jake Klopfenstein lives. According to his mom, Tony, Jake's a passionate devotee of fishing. One day, a fishing buddy of Jake's was stricken with cancer and ended up spending quite some time in the hospital. Jake told his mom that while in the hospital, his friend didn't even get to go fishing. And that gave Jake an idea. So he went and got permission to take his friend out of the hospital for a quick trip to the fishing hole. Turned out it was a great break from his routine. And eventually his friend recovered, but it was such a good idea that Jake started Angling for Relief, a nonprofit group that visits pediatric cancer wards where children can practice dry fishing by casting their lines from their hospital beds using donated rods and reels. When they're physically able, they eventually actually do go on a fishing outing with Jake and his mom and other kids just like them. Jake seems to get as much joy from this as he does from actually hooking and landing a nice fish. So, great thanks to Jake for his compassionate creativity. Well, that's it for this week's episode of What the Hell Just Happened. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.